We're going to talk about leadership in changing times with Charles Antis. Mr. Antis, how are you, sir?
I'm excellent. Excited to be here with you today.
So one of the reasons I'm very excited to have you as a guest today is that I follow you on LinkedIn, and I really enjoy all the videos that you post, and it's everything from philanthropy to leadership and just roofing related content. And I love the passion, man. So thanks for being a guest. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, I'm Charles Antis, and I'm the founder and CEO here at Antis Roofing in Irvine, California. And I am a roofing professional with skilled hands that can fix anything that leaks from rain. But I also see myself today as someone who has a job to awaken companies and people to do so much more, and to be real with their people and real with their community. And because if I can awaken them, there's magic that can occur, and that's what fulfills me.
So let me ask you a question. How have you transitioned to leading post-COVID?
Well, you know, I've always felt purpose at work, and I'll back up to get to this question by telling you, when I started my company 30 years ago, I was struck with a condition that I found that I couldn't let anybody get stuck on a leak. And I found myself on a home where there was mold in the house. And I found that when I knocked on the door, the lady answered the door, and before I could talk to her, I saw her tired expression and this mildew smell hit me. And as I tried to leave, because I was going to leave, I was going to say, I'm sorry, I was pulled in, my finger was tugged, and I looked down, there was a little blonde girl with this ear-to-ear smile, and she just pulled me in her house. And when this little girl pulled me in her house, she pulled me into a hallway and into her room. I knew it was her room because she pointed to this My Little Pony poster on the wall 31 years ago. And that just, when that happened, I was stunned, because I looked down and I saw mattresses, 4 of them with mold on it. And it just devastated me. And I wanted to leave, but I was frozen. I couldn't leave. This little girl was cute. I couldn't tell her I'd do anything. But when the mom walked in the room, the one that had that tired expression, I just said, I'm going to take care of your roof. I don't know where it came from. I tried to grab the words back, but they were already out. And I ended up donating a roof on that house when I didn't know what I was doing, when I had no employees. And it ended up being a life changer, because it ended up being the culture of who we are. Because today at Antis Roofing, we know why we exist. We keep families safe and dry. But right then, when we showed up, it was just like, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And I gave this family a roof. And that's who we are today, even though that started so long ago. So COVID-19, there's a responsibility too. And what do you do? How do you lead in this? And I best liken that to, right now, my job is to prepare this company like it's a ship being prepared to go to sea. And we're going to go to sea, by the way, for an unprecedented amount of time, very far from shore, so far that we won't be able to see it. And we're facing a storm that no one living has ever faced before. Now I'm not trying to paint a bleak picture, but we're going to walk into challenges. And so our job as leaders is to do the right thing, is to show up and be there for our people and say, let's make this a safe, good place to work. Let's tell our community what we're going to do, and let's stand up and lead. And the way we lead now, just like we would on that vessel, we over-communicate. We develop our team. We clearly know what our tasks are. And we tell people it's okay to fail, but raise your hand if something's not working. That way we can right the ship, because here's the fact: not all ships are going to return to shore. And so we have the responsibility to prepare our people. And just as I did 30 years ago, we also have to look in our community. Since there are people that have no ship to sail on, we also need to extend our hand and bring those people aboard.
So speaking of community, Charles, I've heard you talk about this. What is the currency of social good?
Well, the currency of social good is just a way to talk about something that we don't have context for. We have the context of cryptocurrency, although your audience and I, most of us, we can't describe it. And those that do describe it, we're kind of not getting there yet. there is something that's more tangible, and that's the currency of social good. And what that is that's that part of us that can't let anybody have a leaky roof just because they don't have the money to pay. It's that part of it when people understood, when the community understands that that's how you operate, then they up your value. Example, I'm on the board of Habitat for Humanity. I donate all of the Habitat roofs in Orange County. I have for 10 years. I'm trusted by almost everybody that loves that brand. And the reason why they trust us is they trust us because they, like us, believe that everyone deserves a decent place to live. Now, that's not a conscious thought. I like Antis because they believe. No, subconsciously in our animal survival brains, they align with us and they trust us. They may not even be able to tell you off the top of their head why, but it boils down to that alignment and purpose and why we exist. You know, and that's the currency of social good. And you better have it because everything's changing right now. But if you can hang on to your people, that's why companies do CSR. That's why GAF has such amazing CSR, because your people are happy. And if they're happy, they stay. And if they stay, that ship, if you have the first mate and second mate and third mate and the guys swabbing the decks that have been on that ship for the last 3 years, they're going to survive a lot better in this storm.
Man, what a great point. And it's a great time for our first poll of the day, Mick.
Great. So I am launching the poll right now. And that poll is, have you ever given away a roof or service to your community? It's multiple choice. And can you see that on everybody? Oh, there it popped up. So if you can click on it, it is anonymous. So don't feel, if your answer is no, we have been too busy, that's fine. But all your answers is anything from full roof replacement to donating a roof repair, food pantry, blood drive, shelters, all of the above. Or if we have not listed something and you've done something different, you can click on the bottom one. So about 10 seconds, we're going to be turning this off. Remember, this is completely anonymous. So like I said, whatever you choose, and I'm going to end it in 3, 2, 1. Back to you, Eric.
So it doesn't surprise me at all that the majority of our roofing contractors have donated in some form. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind from this poll result, Charles?
I think it's pretty awesome. I love it, all the different ideas you have, but I love it that there's only 17% that say no. That means that 83% of those listening have donated that repair or that roof or both. And chances are it's higher because this is something that we underreport even in anonymous polls. And that goes back to something about, I heard as a kid, baby boomers heard, don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing. I'm not saying it's not right for them, but for now, we got to talk about it. If we don't talk about it, how's it going to grow?
That's right, man. So hey, piggybacking off of our previous question, when we talk about corporate social responsibility, you call it CSR 101. How does it lift up our community overall?
Well, I think that when you are aligned, you can lift your community because you're actually donating that service, but you also are more successful. And so the challenge is most roofing professionals don't see themselves in that. We tend to be hard on ourselves. We look at our fingers and we think that we need to hide our hands in our pockets. I used to do that, but really, because we're so philanthropic, 83% of us at least give roofs, we really have a lot to offer. So I tell you as contractors and professionals to get involved with the cause that's near and dear to your heart. Maybe it's Ronald McDonald House, which we'll talk about in a sec, or maybe it's Habitat for Humanity or food drives or American Red Cross, but get involved. And this is how you screen where you get involved. Don't join a board that you don't know people on, that you don't know the name of, that you don't know who the board members on. Join a board as a CEO who's sharp. Join a board who has alignment with your brand. Join committees and boards where they have board members that have what you want. I'm not talking about money, but join a board where the board members have the traits you want. That's why I serve on the Nrca board and the Roofing Alliance board. It's because these are great, compassionate people. That's what happens. And your CSR, your thing has to be real. An example of realness is why I'm involved in Ronald McDonald House, why I'm on the board. My wife and I were healthy pregnancy, but suddenly we were not. The twins, Charlie and Gracie, were delivered early, 7 weeks early, in Mission Viejo Children's Hospital. And I had to go in every day to do skin on skin twice a day. I'd pull off my shirt and lay the twins skin on skin for 2 hours. And the nurses said, that's how they'll heal. And every day I would go in there and I'd pass the Ronald McDonald Station. They'd try to offer me snacks and coffee and a bed, because they said they're here to keep us close so the kids will heal. And I said, no, I didn't want to be a part of that club. I didn't want to join that club. But one day I came in, I was late for my Skin on Skin with Charlie. My wife was already there. I couldn't do it because I had chronic heartburn and it was really bothering me and I was really feeling bad. But no attendant was at the Ronald McDonald Station that I didn't want to be a part of. So I stole a Little Green Nature Valley granola bar. I stole it because I had no intention of paying them back, but I have since then. And I ate that bar. And I don't remember what happened the next hour, but I have this memory that day of laying on that bed in that NICU with all those buzzers going off, but my son sleeping on my chest and my chronic heartburn soothed. And that's when I got it. It started to get the model. So I'm on the board and that's real. So I have a story, it goes, but the reason we're involved in the NRCA, and there's over 200 companies, including GAF, that donated, is Bill Good, who came to me when I started my board service, said, hey, how can we lift roofing? And I eventually gave, why don't we keep all of the 165 Ronald McDonald houses in the US safe, dry, and close to their sick kids? And that's been adopted. And as you know, we have 165 homes that are kept safe and dry by over 200 members. And Bill Good told me one thing, only one company he called said no. Everyone else said, I'll help if I can. And GAF, you guys were amazing. I met with your senior VPs and I've never seen more enthusiasm than supporting this initiative with all of the shingles. So thank you guys for that. That is real CSR, because we all are aligned. And you know why we're aligned in this currency of social good? All of us in this industry think it is unimaginable to ignore sick children. And that's not something we say in our advertising, but that's what the consumer, that's what the community, that's what our families, that's what they get. That's what they just get, this oozing sensation that we love and protect children, because we do. We protect what matters most.
Charles, that was a powerful answer, man. You got me excited over here on the other end. So I know that you do a lot of work with the NRCA. Why are roofing contractors better together with the NRCA?
The NRCA is a powerful organization, man. When I was led to meet Bill Good 4 years ago, I just was blown away by his compassion. I mean, I had just gone to a trade show where I had gone to meet my rep. It was the only thing I've gone to a trade show. And then he was meeting with my competitor. He saw me and he had this, oh shit, look on his face. And I walked out of that trade show, went home, and I said, I will never do that again. When I went to the International Roofing Expo 4 years ago in Orlando, that's where I met Bill Good. And he just brought this in, and then he transitioned, told me about this guy, Reed Ribble, and how great he was going to be. And I was like so disappointed it wasn't going to be Bill leading anymore. And how am I going to like the new guy? And then Reed Ribble spoke at this first board meeting 3 years ago in Vegas, and we all got goosebumps on our arm. And you know why? Because Reed Ribble is uniting us. He's taken everything that Bill did and he's taking his congressional experience and bringing it on. He's saying, hey, we're better together. Let's advocate. Let's advocate with one voice. Let's educate everyone and lift the community, and let's take care of our community. And I sort of butcher his message down to shorten it, but he does that. And he brings us all together in the room. Even if we see something separately, he brings it to the human condition. And in the end, we go, yes, that's who we are as a group. And the roofing industry, I'm making a roof sign here. The roofing industry truly is growing and protecting, and we're seeing more and doing more. And because of the Roofing Alliance and NRCA and my involvement there, I'm now able to do and see so much more. That's what Bill does. That's what Reed does. That's what the staff like Allison, and that's what Bennett Judson and all these amazing people at the NRCA and these amazing board members who will share anything that works with you and hold nothing back. That's what this industry is really about. When you get above the noise down in the ditches, it is really powerful.
Man, Mac, let's go to our second poll question. I want to hear from the audience as far as their involvement with NRCA.
So once again, poll is opening up again. How involved are you in the NRCA? Remember, this is anonymous, so don't worry about if the answer is not at all, but you could be very much, a little, not at all. And we should have probably had a fourth one on there, Eric, shouldn't we have? Hey, after listening to Charles, I'm pumped up. I'm going to go all in. So sorry we did not have that for you, Charles. So we're going to go about 5 more seconds. Remember, it's anonymous. We're going to end it in 3, 2, 1, and ending now. And these are the results.
So I'm actually pretty surprised that 50% of the audience says not at all. Charles, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's a great opportunity. It changed everything when I got that. You never heard of me in the Nation of Roofing 3 years ago. When I got involved in the Nrca, they said, Charles, we'll listen to any idea because we're all about collaboration. And that's what happens. And by the way, this is my last week or two on my first tenure as a board member for the Nrca. And I've served with some amazing people like Helene at GAF, you know, and I love this. I mean, I'm surprised I don't cry right now just thinking about leaving, because I identify with this great calling of with this family of protectors across the country, representing the millions in this industry from manufacturing, distribution, and installation. I mean, it's been a great honor. It is in the time since I've joined the board, I am proud like I've never been to be a roofing pro. I recognize these hands. I don't hide my broken nails in my pockets anymore. You see me speak, I use my hands because I'm proud. These are the hands, and those ears listening, your hands, are the ones that protect everything we love in this country. And they can do so and say so with so much effectiveness, and our communities listen. I am so proud of the common voice of good showing up across the country, of us keeping people safe and dry, of us helping in all of the needs during this current COVID crisis. The roofing industry is a proud industry that I'm very, very much grateful that I belong to. So, and for my service in the Nrca, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of the roofing pros in this land. Thank you for letting me feel so much better, letting my people feel so much better about that essential service that we provide, keeping families safe and dry.
Man, that's good stuff. So Charles, thank you for being our guest. I want you to leave our audience with a closing thought on leadership and culture before we send it back to Mac.
Wow. Well, I'd have to go back to the times that we're in. They're unprecedented. We are truly shipping off to sea. We can't even economize, even economists that tell you we can't live it, we can't feel it. Our animal brains haven't walked through it yet. We're talking about what we're going through almost with a novelty, but it's going to be real. And so what really matters is people. What really matters most is your people. Put everything in your people. If you put everything in your people, they'll stay. And that's how you can be adaptive. And I think that's my most important message. As a leader, I think that it's a mindset to try to not come from a place of scarcity at a time like this. As a leader who's a baby boomer, it's a time to remind myself I need young people that have adaptable brains. I need to teach them to rejoice in failing, but fail fast. Push my resources out to try new things, to try new technologies. This is a great opportunity for those kinds of things. It's not a time to put your head in the sand and just focus on your artistry of installing roofing. So I'm excited for this period in the sense that I've got a team and I've got a ship, and we've got purpose, and everything that we do is intentional, but I'm also sober and very realistic about the challenges that are ahead.
Charles, I think you've been fantastic, man. And I think this interview really confirmed to me that you are a thought leader in our industry, and I'll welcome you back anytime. Thank you very much.
Man.
Mac,
thank you both.
We're going to send it to you.